I say special thanks to our godfather out there, Mark Mancini. Boys, how's everything this weekend? Let's talk about it. AW, what'd you do this weekend?
This weekend, just a lot of binge watching as usual. And the bike ride's amazing. It got really hot today, by the way. If you guys missed it, check out New York today. UV index of 10. I got my 17 minutes of bike riding in just before the arms got scorched. So it's been fun. It's been fun. How's everything with you, Bill?
Savvy, what do you got? What'd you do this weekend?
Well, actually, yesterday we went upstate. We were around Bear Mountain and up. We were walking these trails, my wife and I. Beautiful trails. We were doing a little hiking, but without any hiking boots. We were just walking through the grass and stuff, through the woods. So I enjoyed it. I'm trying to get as much exercise as I could. Saturday we were around.
If I may very quickly, a Bushkill, I believe it's called Bushkill Falls, all the way upstate next to New York State. We hiked there with my parents.
That's PA. Yeah, that's PA right over the Water Gap.
Yes, I remember right now. Yeah, it's one of our trips that we did all the way to Niagara, not upstate New York. It was PA. It's beautiful.
No, we were in Highlands, like up by West Point. Yeah, we were in Highlands up by West Point, around that area.
Nice.
Scenic Hudson Park.
Beautiful. Me, I just hung around the house. Did some cleaning, organizing, staying outside. It was gorgeous this weekend. Loved it. So it was a great weekend. So let's get to what's the top stories. AW, we got anything going on with the MLB talks?
Oh, it's just completely ongoing. I mean, at this standpoint, there's deals going back and forth. I know there's a discussion going on. I know there are things here and there, but the reality is, I think a lot of fans on my feed are just outright saying it's probably more likely to not happen than happen, that the season's coming in. I'm trying to pick up a headline over here. It's been a little bit calm after the storm of last week when we were just getting more of the news. Yeah, the headline here from Jeff Passan from earlier yesterday was the proposal from the union has a 76-game season. This was just a matter of yesterday, and I feel like the word on the street is the tone really is negative. I mean, I'm trying to remember who to attribute it to, but they were saying one of the quotes was that if this was a marriage, that there would be a divorce between the union and the executives. I don't know if you guys read anything interesting on that part.
Savvy, what do you think about what's going on?
Well, from my standpoint, they're both being greedy as could be. It's ridiculous. They're going to screw up the sport. Now the owners have they're in the driver's seat because they can get a 48-game season. They already agreed to that. They're just not going to have a contract, so they're going to play. They're going to play, but they're going to prorate just 48 games. So the players are going to end up losing money because they're going to get only a prorated 48 games. So they'll get that in, but we're looking for more, and then postseason.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting next couple. I would say probably in the next 10 days. Something has to be ironed out. If not, you got to kiss the baby goodbye.
Clock's ticking, baby. The clock's ticking. Pretty soon the season's going down. Right? Johnny might have a take on that. Yeah, Johnny might have a take.
Is Johnny here?
I believe he is. Our special treat, everybody. Mickey, you want to do the honors and introduce him?
I want to do this guy right here. I just want to introduce him. His name is Johnny Damon. Played 18 years in the MLB. Career batting average 284 with 235 bombs, 2,769 hits, 1,668 runs scored, 1,139 RBIs. John, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thank you very much. I mean, I love when you say those stats. I mean, wow, some of the best of all time right there. I mean, the runs scored, the doubles, the home runs for a leadoff hitter was absolutely fantastic. So I wanted to keep on going, but they started looking at my age, and even though I'm still built like I was back in the day, it's how the business world works.
Yeah, John. Well, you got to do me a favor, John. After the show, you have to give me your address because these are all my co-pays from starting October 21st of 2004. I'll have my attorney send it to you. So let's talk
You
about
owe him, Johnny.
October 20th, 2004, you broke my heart. You put me in therapy for like a month. Second inning, you come up, bases loaded. Kevin Brown loads the bases loaded. Savy, you remember this? I don't know if you remember this, AW.
Oh.
Corey brings
absolutely.
in Javi Vasquez. Bases loaded to Johnny. 2 down, 2-0. I'm like Brioski. I'm holding on. I'm dropping the Brioski in my mouth like it's going out of style. And then first pitch, Granny. And that was it.
Yeah.
You broke every New York Yankees heart.
I was with it too, John.
You know, I'm just doing my job. Hey guys, are we actually on Zoom? Because if you guys give me a Zoom number, I'll join. I just don't have a number because I heard you guys say it. So I was just waiting for you guys to call me.
Yeah, we can get you on Zoom.
Yeah.
AW, can we get him on Zoom, kid?
Yeah, like who?
I have the number here. Hey, John, Bill Savy.
We'll message it to you. So yeah, Breck will get in touch with the oh yeah, we can get that. Breck.
Yeah, I have the number in front of me. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, please send that to me, and I'll jump on Zoom, and so the fans and everybody can see me.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Yes. So sorry about the heads up because we were just our head guy Breck. He's doing so many shows, so many dozen shows. He's keeping his hands on everything, and we had to make sure that we got the details over here. And absolutely, by all means, we'll just get over the time here. And I wanted to make sure that we don't get Zoom bombed, which is why I didn't divulge the number directly.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I can write stuff. Or actually, let me just go to my Zoom and then just make sure this works. And so we all are happy. Join the meeting, okay? If you want to give it to me, or
I just texted him the meeting.
Oh, okay. Then that should be very easy for me to do.
The number that starts at 981. Yes. Thanks, guys.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I can show off some more of that video when we can get we
go ahead, run my nightmare, AW. Go ahead.
Well, you're on run nightmare. I mean,
it's a nightmare, that bomb.
Yeah, we were trying to go over the screen share features for the 5. Yeah, we wanted to talk about the 2004 one. Yeah, we'll roll some of the good footage over here once again. It's just terrific.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, show that footage.
That's good.
We all remember this like yesterday. Yeah, the footage. I'm gonna see if I can see the ding come up on the side. I think that was Brett's ding.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
He was talking about that
now.
Okay.
There you go.
I need to
tap to speak. The video is stopped right now. Let's see. I think I am going to have it in 1 second.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Have a kid, so okay.
Don't worry about it. On your own time. Don't worry about it. Oh, I had to make sure we put on a shirt as well for this.
Can you guys see me now?
I see the box. It's gonna come on.
It's gonna come on. Yeah. Can you see us?
Yeah. I can see a few people right now. So.
It's iPhone. Yes. It's iPhone. Has to start video.
Alan.
The iPhone.
Asked you to start your video. Okay, so.
Oh, you look
amazing. We got you, Johnny.
You got me? All right.
You got
me and my long flowing hair.
Well, we know that. We remember that.
Yeah, and speaking about 2004, just wanted to make it quick. Bam.
Wow.
Oh, come on now.
Thanks, Sean.
He's not nice.
Hey guys, I have this one too. Let's see.
He's showing the granny now, Johnny.
I'm back in therapy.
So I helped out both squads, and
yes,
that's what.
Yes, you did.
You go out and play the game.
That's why we got you over here. After that, we got you on the Yankees. That's what we made sure we got here. We called up George and everything.
Yeah, we couldn't beat you. We'd take you. So John, you started off with the Royals. You're a Midwest guy, right? From
Yes. Well, I grew up in Orlando, so since I was 6, but I was a military kid who lived in Okinawa, or born in Fort Riley, Kansas, lived in Okinawa.
Oh, wow.
Came back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and my dad got us 20 years when I was 6 years old, and my mom wanted to be close to Mickey Mouse, so it was either Anaheim or Orlando. And there was a big Thai community here for my mom, and I believe they made the right choice because Florida, we've been absolutely better than most places during this pandemic, and
I
feel very blessed.
And then
Here
you were what, like one of the top prospects coming out of high school? Is that right?
That's correct. I struggled my senior year. I mean, struggles happen in baseball, and I believe you have to teach your kids that struggles happen. I mean, I hit 305 my senior year. Every ball that I hit found the glove, was an error.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And you know what? I dropped from possibly being the first pick to the 35th pick, but guess what? I stood up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to show everybody that they made a mistake, and that's exactly what I did. And you know, you gotta compete in the game, in this world. You gotta compete, and you know, you always want to be the very best that you can be, whether it's getting good grades or getting like with your teammates. Like, you have to be the very best teammate to make everything pull together. Like you, like playing the game was easy when you have the cohesive group that, you know what, we all want to win. That's no secret. But when you pull together and it happens, truly amazing.
That's true.
And at that Royals team, when you came up, was really good. It was just very young at that time, right?
Yeah, we had a really good offense. Pitching was a little bit behind, but I mean, the Royals payroll in the 80s was $30 million a year, and when you come to 1996, it was only $18 million. So think about how crazy that was, and we were close. I wish I could say we were one player away, but we were probably like 3 or 4 players away from pushing the playoffs. And anytime the playoffs happen, anything can happen. You know, you have your guys who like step up. Like Mark Bellhorn stepped up huge for us in 2004. You don't really hear about him too much anymore. Like Bill Miller was one of the most underrated players ever in the game. And Bill Miller, wow, he won a batting title.
Yeah.
He helped Boston win the World Series. You don't hear too much about him except for driving Dave Robertson in. Incredible player. I played against him in the minor leagues, and I'm like, man, I want to be teammates with that guy one day.
And then and then in 01, you went to Billy Bean in the A's, and you wanted part of that Moneyball. And you guys had a tremendous team that year. Tremendous.
Oh, we had a tremendous team, and you know, a couple guys didn't show up in the first round, and that's what happens. Like in that Yankees series in 2004, I was like non-existent until Game 7. So Game 7 was the perfect game for me to step up and do my thing. But you need to work together as a team, and everyone's trying. Nobody wants to lose. Everyone wants to win. So unfortunately, like, some guys get in a slump. That's why you have to be a really good teammate, and you have to talk to your teammates and say, what can I do to, you know what, make you relax, make you like
help each other out.
You know, the game's stressful. I mean, there's no, it's stressful. And I know the coaches and stuff and the kids are like, like, I feel like I have to come through every single time. It's not going to happen. You know, this game is so hard. Like, I've I feel like the failures in baseball, I mean, it makes you a stronger person. It makes you a stronger teammate. And man, I failed so many times, probably 7,000 times in my major league career. But guess what? I stood up and I was ready to compete again.
We remember.
Think yeah.
Yeah.
We remember.
I coach.
Johnny, let me
coach-
ask you, when you came in, go ahead. When you came into the seventh game, that game, as Yankee fans, before or since, I never saw the Yankees like before the game, like with the deer in the headlight looks. Did you guys know that you had them beat before that seventh game? Like they were just losing 3 in a row. They were like,
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how many times the Yankees lost 4 games in a row that season.
Sure.
But it was amazing standing out there from center field, and all of a sudden, some of the greatest hitters who ever played the game couldn't hit anymore. You know, like our pitchers were like that good. And then I'm sitting out there going, how did he miss that pitch? How did that happen? And our pitchers stepped it up. And after we won game 4, we knew we had to get past game 5 because game 6, we had Schilling going and he had a horrible game 1. And we knew that big game pitcher, he was going to step it up. Game 7, we're like, we've been there already. Like we have nothing to lose. Let's get after it. And that's what we did. And fortunately, we had some luck on our side. We had some clutch hitting. And wow.
I remember that game.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
I was looking in the Yankee dugout before the game. Joe Torre's face was like, I never saw Joe Torre look not confident.
Torre was deer in the headlights. And so instead of Kevin Brown, and I'll never forget, I'm talking to my brother. And John, you went like 3 for 29 in the first 6 games. And I'm like, we're keeping this guy off a base. You lead off the game with a hit. And then in the second, I'm like, this is it. When you hit the granny, and then you hit the 2-run bomb in the 4th.
I got jammed.
I was
by
like,
the way.
agita, complete agita. But then, you know what? Great plays, like you say. You keep failing, but when it's clutch and your team needs you, you stepped up and you really put the dagger in our hearts. You really did.
So,
and I teach
and I tell players, like, you're always going to try to do your best. Like, you never want to fail. And, I was playing for the Red Sox, so I'm doing my job, and I'm just glad it worked out. It's so crazy how long ago it's been and how sane our world was back then. At least when we actually think about it, it's like, man, 2004, Red Sox winning the World Series. I mean, there is a higher power protecting us, and it was fantastic. And it was an amazing year, and I'm always going to be remembered for that. And probably also going to the Yankees.
When we got you in 2006, I was like jacked up. I was like pumped that we got you. And I know it was like,
Johnny, did you always use? Did you always use that front leg kick as a timing device from when you were in high school? Did you always do that?
Well, it's definitely a timing device, but also, I mean, I always loved that high leg kick. I mean, the reason why I wore number 18 for most of my career was because Darryl Strawberry was my man, and I was like, man, and he had that little leg kick, and I was like, huh.
Yes.
Let me see if I can generate power. And I absolutely tattooed some balls. And the reason why I opened up is because I feel like if you're open up, you're not going to open up when you swing at a pitch. Like, you have to naturally close your body or your shoulder up. And that's where you want to be. And then it just worked for me. And there's a really good reason why there's success in the game. I feel like everybody should be opened up. I feel like it gives you more chances to, the outside pitch. I'm not hitting that pitch for a home run. I'm trying to block that away for a foul ball, and hopefully I get a base hit. But at the end of the day, if you can pull the ball very well, I mean, the sky's the limit. Like, good things are going to happen. And I figure that out. And even though, like hitting the ball to left field for me was fantastic, and I knew how to do it, but I learned how to pull that inside pitch. I learned how to pull that outside pitch. So I stuck with my strength, because if you are a second late or a split second late, you're not going to hit the ball hard. So you want to be able to get extension. Worst case, if you hit the ball late, it's a foul ball. But if you hit the ball in front of you, you can do some damage, even if it's hitting it to the opposite field. So you always have to think before you. I know there's like swings being taught a little bit differently right now, but these guys aren't as good as we are. At least that's what I'm saying right now. I'm sure they're very talented. But
there you go.
We knew how to adjust. I think there's a lot of players who do not know how to adjust now. And I'm going,
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah.
John, I coach Little League Baseball here in Jersey, and I always tell them, I'm like, you want to be a great hitter, you got to learn how to hit line to line and stay away from these launch angles. These kids are getting caught up watching these launch angles, and I'm like, if you watch real good hitters, and I haven't watched you as well, believe it or not, because you're one of my favorite players.
Thank you.
How you just have like a real short stroke, and it's like damage, and you can put the ball pretty much anywhere. So what do you think about these guys now? Just like you said about the adjustments, but they got these kind of launch angle stuff that's scraping, all over the place here in youth baseball.
You can see his facial expression.
I can't see his face.
Come on, Johnny. Tell us what you think about it.
Come on, John.
Remember the movie Bull Durham, and they're saying, don't think you're only
exactly.
Team. I mean, all your stuff you have to do is off the out of the game, and then when you go to the game, enjoy what you're doing. You're playing the game, and I really find it tough. Like today's players, I mean, I know trying to stay in the big leagues is the most important thing, and that's what everyone's trying to do. But I feel like these guys are wearing themselves out, causing bigger chance for injury. I got ready a couple weeks before spring training. These guys are getting ready like year round, and your body needs to rest. And I wish I would have played more soccer, co-ed soccer, during the off season, just so I didn't get myself too out of shape. But there's so many things you can do without stressing your body out and getting ready for a Major League Baseball season, because it is taxing. It is very taxing on your body, and you have to be ready. And these guys are getting hurt or can't battle through injuries, and it's not everybody. I mean, I think Major League Baseball players, they are the best players in the world, but we also have to say, let's make sure that you're at 100% year round. So I didn't get started till late, and that's a big reason why I started training late. Played 16 consecutive seasons and played 140 plus games. Well,
wow,
that could not have happened if I was training during the season. There's only two other guys in the history of the game that's done that. Brooks Robinson and Mays. And obviously Cal Ripken would be in this category, but there was a strike. So 3 guys in the history of baseball played 16 straight years of 140 plus games.
Yep.
And I was ready to do it for year 17, but they didn't give me that opportunity because they looked at my age. I mean, I've been out of the game for 8 years now, and still, like, can hit, still can play soccer, still can run. I have to, obviously, because I have 8 kids now. So.
Oh my gosh, you're really working out now.
4 kids since retired.
Hey, John. You know, you had like 27. You're tipping almost 2,800 hits. Did you ever think about reaching that 3,000 plateau?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to keep on playing, but I could not get a job. I had a really good year in 2011 with Tampa Bay, and then I didn't get a job until May 1st the next year. So think about it. I'm 7 weeks late for the spring training, 4 weeks late for the season. How do you expect me to be good when I'm hanging out with my boys and playing golf?
Sure.
And I could care less. 100% could care less, but I was doing it for the boys I grew up with in Orlando, Florida. I was doing it for my town. I was doing it for my fans. That's the reason why I wanted to continue to play, is because, you know, people wanted to see it, and I didn't get that opportunity, which really irks me so bad. I mean, it's an absolute joke. I could not have a job, and you know, they start bringing sabermetrics into the game. Out of 100 at bats, you may hit 5 home runs. Jason Giambi, Raul, and Bolañez, guys I love, they'll hit 6.2 home runs per 100 at bats. So that's what they started basing things on. And then they also knew, well, I won a couple World Series. Maybe he doesn't care as much. It's like, no, I played this game to win every single day. So people can make up anything in the media. And I wanted to play for my fans, and I think that's a great enough reason to continue to play. The stats, to me, I could care less. Like, people don't really recognize how great of numbers I have, and they're like shocked when they see it, because
I do.
It's amazing.
A lot of guys who got into the Hall of Fame recently who, I mean, they're not even close. You know, they may have a couple more all-star games than me, but guess what? That's a fan vote. It's like, I wish I had, I know my people in Orlando is going to vote for me, but I would love to have the whole world know about it. But guess what? I played the game the right way. Never took a steroid, even to this day. Actually, cortisone shot, considered a steroid, but never a performance enhancing drug. And so I played the game the right way. I played it fair. And you know what? Some guys get penalized for just being a straight up good, honest guy.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, really, I look at you because I'm like a real baseball buff, and I love guys that just do damage. And you're one of those guys that I always looked at and said, I always want you on my team. And when they didn't re-sign you, it was kind of upsetting. I mean, I know they were talking about like defense and they had Gardner coming and everybody, but you can still hit in your sleep. And that's one of the things that the Yankees kind of lost, was that you can hit in your sleep. And I always teach my kids, you want to put the bat on the ball instead of having 200 strikeouts. And you were the guy that just put the bat on the ball and make things happen. And you know,
that was
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, that was a question I had, John. You were one of the best 2-strike hitters around. What do you attribute to that?
Well, just going out there and battling. And guess what happened after 2009 when we won the World Series? Matsui and myself were free agents, and they wanted to keep me on as a DH/left fielder. Well, when we were doing our contract negotiations, I only had 5 minutes to talk to them, and I'm going,
oh, geez.
You're going, and like with Matsui and myself, you never had to change the lineup. And
no,
the GMs and the stat people say, oh, it's easy just to if we put this lineup in, we're going to score this many runs a game. It doesn't happen that way. Like, you get comfortable. Like, for a right-handed pitcher and a left-handed pitcher, you never had to change our lineup. And the two guys who like took our positions, I guess, would be Granderson and Gardner. I would think.
Gardner.
So Gardner, yeah.
So they would hit,
Brett Gardner.
So they would hit. So they would hit 1 and 2 against right-handers, and against left-handers, that Granderson might have shifted to number 6 or 7. Gardner, if he was playing, would be number 9. So your lineup is shifting every single day. And like with me and Matsui, we hit left-handers better than the right-handers because that nasty changeup, it's tough to hit.
Yeah.
And like you never had to change what our philosophy was, because we even made that big switch before the season. Jeter has lead off because he gets on base a little bit more than I do, and he swings at more pitches frequently. So if he swung at the first pitch of the game, I'll come up behind him. I'll take until 2 strikes to try to make the pitcher work slightly, and then Jeter hits into over 30 double plays a year. I hit into maybe 3. I think the most I ever hit into were 8 in a season. So all of a sudden, we're extending our
That's a great
innings
stat.
by 27. It's like, okay, like, and I'm going to protect the rest of my team by taking pitches that I'm like, man, I could have crushed that ball out of the ballpark. So I understand that philosophy because of the great Jason Giambi. I mean, he taught me how to play winning baseball. And I was like, man, I get your point. So I took it to Boston, brought it back to New York. And fortunately, he was with me for a couple years there. Mm-hmm. But it's like Derek Jeter being leadoff for the Yankees, free swinger, made so much sense. Lead you off, put Damon behind you, and then we added Teixeira, and I mean, we
tied after that.
Yeah, we tied Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig's back-to-back home run streak in one season together, and however many years those guys played together, I mean, that's what was so difficult of not coming back. You know, it's like you're gonna bring Nick Johnson back. Yeah, I know he walks a lot. He gets on base.
God, please.
He gets hurt. Yeah, but guess what? I can still run. Like I was very blessed with incredible speed, and even to this day, I can run. My genetics are fabulous, and that's what teams didn't see. And even the Yankees, like even at 38 years old, my last year, like, I'm still a better pickup than so many other people.
I was going to allude to that. The next thing I was going to allude to was what a great all-around player. You were a tremendous base runner and really good base stealer. That was you know, you could do it all. You enjoyed running the bases, I could tell.
I just can't throw it anymore, you know. But guess what? When I got to the ball, I got rid of it in 0.3 seconds. The average nowadays is like 0.8. Back in the day when I learned from Jeff Conine, it was like 1.2 or 1.3 was the average of people getting a ground ball.
That's interesting.
I was able to get rid of the ball, and I understood it, and people didn't run on me. And also, I backed up bases. You know, there's like
fundamental
stuff that people don't talk about anymore.
Coach, I mean, fundamental. He's a fundamental player.
I know. Listen. Listen,
2009 against the Angels, Mariano's out there. Mariano throws it to foul territory beyond third base. Like they were like cheering, they're gonna win. But guess what? Johnny Damon's like standing there. I got the ball, and then they picked me out for defensive purposes. And I'm like, didn't I just like save this game? Like I know where to be, and that's probably why I didn't win a couple Gold Gloves, because I knew how to do it, and I knew like running and catching a ball would be a lot easier than like setting up a dive, and my dives were very ugly, but I knew what I was doing. And so I know I called myself an idiot when I was in Boston, but guess what? I feel like I was one of the smartest players who ever played the game. I knew how to run the bases from a young age. I remember watching Carl Lewis try to run around the bases for some skills challenge thing, and I was like, boy, I can whip. I can run so better than he can. And I just knew how to hit the angles, and that's good reason why I was a great track star. Like, never lost a 400-meter race. Finished second in the state in the 200 meters in Florida.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
And then fifth in the 100 meters with a bad start. So it's like I could fly. I could pick them up and put them down, especially being the big specimen that I am. I mean, I was 6'1", 185 when I was 13. So obviously that's a blessing.
Wow. Well, I remember Game 4 of the 09 series. It was ninth inning. You battle Lidge for like a 10 pitch at bat. You get the single, you get on first, and then you steal, and then you took third. AW, you have that video, and this is why I think what happened.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
And when the Yankees lost you, they lost this, and because they didn't have this kind of mentality on the bases. I don't know if AW can pull that up. 2009 Game 4.
That's because they're waiting for all the home runs today.
Well, I thought about this all year long. I mean, obviously, I battled Lidge. He struck out the first two batters of the inning, and I'm not sure how many times I ended the game making an out, but I just continue to battle, and it's like I'm the guy that you want at the plate when the game's on the line, because I'm going to make something happen.
Sure.
Whether it's a walk, and there's no fear for me here. Like I you can't play with fear. You can't live your life with fear, obviously, as well.
You played with reckless abandon, that's for sure.
Fear. Yeah. So obviously there were times where I was kind of like, oh my goodness, it's like, this is tough. I don't want to make it out. And it's like, fans are going to boo me. But you know what? It's a game of baseball, and that's what makes it great. That's what makes it America's pastime, because you like step up when you fail, and you get to see who you really are, and everybody gets to see who you are. And like in 2004 with the Red Sox, I was the worst player on the team in the playoffs until Game 7, and you know what? You battle, and I'm just glad it worked out.
You weren't hitting those games, but you were playing great outfield.
Francona kept you in there.
Running down those balls on us.
I just knew where to put my body, and even against the Angels, I've seen a highlight with Sean Figgins recently, and I'm like, I played him perfectly in left field, and I made a great play, because if Sean Figgins gets on base, I mean, we're in trouble. I mean, there's some pretty good players coming up for Anaheim, and
sure.
Yeah, I'm just glad it worked out.
Yeah, the Angels always had the Yankees number in the playoffs. We just couldn't beat that kind of ball.
Exactly.
We just couldn't.
And Boston never lost to Minnesota. So
Yankees
think
too.
about it. I thought I was going to go up against the Red Sox just like I did in 2003, 2004, and be like, all right, I'm trying to take this from you right now. And it was strange. I mean, leaving teams, players don't like to do that. It's just, you always think your team has your back and they're going to bring you back, and it doesn't work that way. Like, you hear about all the free agency stuff and how they like fly you out. It's not really like that, and maybe it is for the top 3 or 4 players in the game, but yeah, it's not like that at all. Oh, I love making that catch. What a great arm right there.
Look at there you go.
So John, speaking about the national pastime, what do you think about what's going on now? You want to weigh in and give us your thoughts? Think they're going to make it, or think they're going to play?
Can you please inform me of what happened today? Because I know there was a couple things that they were talking about, and was it 76 games?
AW, you want to take it over from here, kid?
Well, I was gonna ask if you wanted to be able to bring it up. I haven't seen any news of the deal. I was showing everybody the bit right here. No, I honestly have not been able to. Have you guys read anything about it? Because I don't.
The only thing I heard was 76 games.
Right.
And something we're still talking about the expanded playoffs with the money and everything. And I don't know. It's kind of like
prorated. The big thing is the prorating.
Guys, I am always for the players making more money and getting their money. We just came through a pandemic, so everybody needs to agree. We just came through the worst time of a bunch of people's lives.
Sure.
You know, it's when you were 19 years old in 1900, you were probably fighting in the war. When you're 19 years old right now, you have a opinion about everything. And I mean, yes, we are going through a difficult time. We just need to figure out let's make it work for everybody. This is what our country needs right now. Everything needs to work.
Baseball back,
I would love
for sure.
I would love for the players to get their full salaries. I don't think there's going to be baseball in the Northeast. I mean, it could very well be the Fort Myers Red Sox. It could be the Tampa Yankees. I don't know how they are going to do it. And even with the other sports, I really don't know why basketball is starting July 31st. Disney can get everything situated and ready to go right now. And we are living it you guys see my backyard. This is beautiful. What's been going on with us. And yeah, I don't know. It's worse in the Northeast. Nobody should have left Florida during that time. And I really think they should have just pushed it up. I mean, these are the greatest athletes in the world. Baseball, basketball, these basketball guys, they are so talented. They could be ready in a week. You know, you play your game. You know who's good and who's not. I mean, they have 16 teams make the playoffs. If you don't want to get all these people together, then cut it back a little bit. But we know what teams have a really good chance. And
sure,
I'm just glad Orlando Magic are they were an 8 seed at the time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but it's the teams that are going to be really good. If Golden State can play after they've been really bad all year, I don't think that's fair because you get Steph Curry.
It's tough, yeah.
Klay Thompson, healthy. I mean,
get them all.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the setup is, but if those guys are healthy and ready, and if they're in it, I mean, it suits them perfect. Miller right now. Cheers, guys.
Johnny, do you think the shortened season this year gives more of a chance of some lesser team and upset team winning it all?
Absolutely, and I mean that was the great thing with the wild card, but you did not give a lot of teams the opportunity. I feel for the fans of Pittsburgh. I mean, they had that one game playoff every single year and they could not win it. And if they get past that one game, they have a strong chance to win the World Series. So I hate the one game series. I think minimum it's got to be 2 of 3, and I feel for those fans because one baseball game, a good college team could beat a major league baseball team. Like it can happen, and some people may disagree, but I don't. I've seen it. I was with the Kansas City Royals, 1996. We played the Omaha team. They whooped our butts, like 20 like 2. Jose Rosado came out there and he was like lights out. We only got one hit off him. Like he like tore us up.
Awesome.
And we're going, why is this guy not in the big leagues with us? And I mean, yeah, our major league team lost to the AAA team. You may have to go back and check out what the score was, but we got whooped, and Jose Rosado did that to us.
And so, what are you doing now in 2020 other than just hanging out in Florida? You got any new endeavors or any new challenges going on for Johnny Damon?
Yeah, well, the good thing is Florida really didn't shut down. We were able to play golf. I have 8 kids, so I'm staying very busy. I have my company called A Game. You got to bring your A game. And I had it on shelves in New England before, but it's so tough to compete against the Gatorades and the Powerades of the world. So we're going to come out with a CBD form. And you know what? I finally tried CBD about a year ago and never did steroids, never did anything. And I was like, oh my God, my body feels like great. And we're going to launch agamecbd.com.
Oh, cool.
And we were supposed to launch June 1st, but we are going to have tape. We're going to educate people about it. And the number one thing that I told my partners, I own 100% of the company. I was like, it is only affordable to people who make money. I was like, I've never been that way. I am going to make sure people can afford this. And it's crazy how expensive it is. And I'm going to have the absolute best products. We're going to have the drinks. We're going to have the drops. We're going to have pre and post workout drinks. We're going to have tape. We're going to have cream, and we're going to make sure that obviously everything's legal if athletes want to use it. You know, it's a very fine line, and I just want to take care of people. You know, I banged my body up for so long, didn't do anything, played the game the right way, and I want to make sure that I can help weekend warriors, the moms who do yoga, and there's some stuff out there that's so expensive, and I'm like, no, we are not going to make that crazy profit. Like, let's help people. I mean, this is what we need to do right now, especially is help people. Reach out to your neighbor, make sure everything's good, make sure you ask your questions and you get a answer that you agree with. I mean, our society, our world is like in chaos right now because we want to think one way. It's like, no, we're all individuals. We all get to decide. Like, Mickey, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
No, it's got to be red. So that's no, what we need to try
I wear blue, but think red.
That's what we got to try and avoid.
That's what we need to get to. It's like we're not going to agree on everything, but we agree what's best going forward for our children, for our
that's it.
For your teams. Like we all need to do better. Like always, I tell people, let's always do better than we can. Let's try a little more. And when you do that and you reach out to people, I mean, you win championships. You know, like it's a team. You win championships. And I thought Patrick Mahomes was fantastic when he said, in the clubhouse, we never dealt with these issues going on in the world. And when you pull together, we can accomplish everything. And yeah.
That's really true.
Those are good thoughts. All very important.
And so now, John, we got youth baseball, and I'm a coach, and Savy, he umps up here in the Northeast. I'm right over the.
Don't yell at me.
I'm right over the George Washington Bridge, and we have our baseball starting up in the next week or so. Up here. If there was a message I can give to my players about how to play the game, what to really learn about the game, especially with the high school kids, because everybody's trying to get into like a college thing and stuff, and they're trying to play all year round and do practices all year round. What would you tell somebody like in high school that you can give them some type of guidance?
My thing, we're in a crazy time, and anyone who has an opportunity to go to college now instead of the draft, I would say go to college. But there's a lot of downtime nowadays with the kids. It's like you can do your arm exercises when you're on the phone. You can do your push-ups. You can do your sit-ups. You can stay in shape. And, people and society kind of just you really don't think about it. And I'm not thinking about it too much because I have 6 young kids at home. So I try to say, stop sitting in front of your iPad. I know they're fantastic. I know they're great, but let's do some curls. Let's do some weights. Let's stay busy. Let's watch some video. Let's educate ourselves on what the right way to play baseball is. And you can show people the double steal. You can show people the failures that I had through games 1 through 6, and then game 7. It's like, you know what? He never quit. He kept battling. And in life, that's what you have to do. You have to keep battling. I mean, it's fantastic, but it
great message.
doesn't end. It does not end after one accomplishment. It's like you always strive to be your best, and then you pass it on to your family. You pass it on to your kids. Kids should pass it along to other kids. And I've always said, enjoy life. Enjoying life. I know it's tough for a lot of people, but if you're doing what you love, do it. And if you don't, you know what? It's time for a change, and nothing has to be violent or anything. It's like, what makes you happy? If it makes you happy to swim all day, then swim all day. If it makes you happy to decorate, decorate. If it makes you happy to do push-ups and look good and make sure the ladies and love how you look, just do that. So it's like, always be the best you, and whatever it takes. And it's okay to be a rocket scientist. And I know a lot of people go back a little bit and well, I want this girl to like me, or these friends of mine to like me, but I'm super smart. Well, there's never anything wrong with being super smart. So it's like, be the best that you can be at all times, and help your neighbor. Ask them for help. I mean, a lot of times you don't know, they could be struggling. There could be something going on, but make sure you reach out, because if you don't reach out, I mean, you can see, it may not turn out the right way. So reach out and just make sure that everybody that and can inspire and we all need to be taught, and we all need to learn, and we all need to come to a agreement. And you can't do that if you're not social. And that's what's great about sports is you can you come together. It's a team. It's a locker room, and you care for each other, and that's so important.
Great message, Johnny. Thank you. It's great.
AW, got anything, kid? Anything for John? AW completely forgot about you.
We covered a lot. Yeah, just a reminder, any other of the platforms, is there a website for your endeavor? I'm going to show once again how folks can check you out on your Instagram, by the way, impressive gallery.
Oh, thank you. I am also with Athletes and Causes, and we are getting ready to plan another golf tournament. I am trying to work with this camera company, Invex, you know, so the routine police stops do not happen. Like there's a camera that's going to go up, and like there needs to be no altercation. I mean, it's like, and we need to stop like pulling people over for going 2 miles per hour over the speed limit, unless you're going through a school zone. And like, but the rule of law needs to keep happening, because if not, we are going to be in serious trouble. And I know we can work together. I understand. Like there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but it can always be looked the wrong way. Like I feel like we need to stand up against racial injustice. We need to stand up against racism. We need to stand up for the Black communities. We need to stand up for George Floyd, because the kneel, like, eventually was, like, you know, it's very difficult. It's like the kneel, and I mean, I stand up for America, and I want us all to unite. It's absolutely crazy, and I mean, I'm going to kneel to my God. You know, I believe in God. I believe my mother was Buddhist, and I believe in. So I support both religions, and I don't know.
I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad. Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, your origins. Today, of course, was the funeral for George Floyd. A lot of video on demands out there. I'm glad you got to touch on this. It's a topic we all have to juggle with it, because it is really emotionally trying. We're podcasters. Yeah, we're getting the word out there. I'm glad you spoke up about that, and we all had our thoughts on our social medias. And by the way, thanks a lot once again for coming by. I already shouted out your Instagram and your Twitter.com/Damon. By the way, good luck with the cameo. I saw you had the cameo links on your Instagram as well. So yeah, thanks again for the opportunities. Mickey, I'll let you wrap it up. You have anything?
All right, John. I just said my therapist will be calling you for my co-pays done from 2004. John, thank you very much. Again, from me, I mean, you've been one of my best favorite players to watch throughout your entire career. You played the game the right way. Loved the way you played the game.
Same here, Johnny. Thank you.
I was so honored to have you on.
All the best.
Savvy,
thank you, guys. And I believe we need to stand up for the causes, and this is the time. And like I said, what we have seen on video for like the past couple months, absolutely horrible. Yeah. And I can't imagine what's not on video, but like we need to stand up against any tension, and we need to have a dialogue so we can talk about it, you know, because there's a lot of times where people aren't being heard. And, you know, I'm hoping like we are at that point where this is the time. And, you know, I respect everybody out there.
Mhm.
Color of your skin, religion, gender, sexuality. If you're a jerk, I don't want to, like, you're a jerk. I'm not going to be around those people. But if you are a great person, I mean, come on. I mean, I love you. And so that's
Thank you.
my message. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit like,
No worries.
No,
It's a
listen,
very
Sunday.
worthwhile message, and we're
Very
I'm very
important to
glad
get
you
it
said
out there.
that, guys. We got more episodes
you,
coming
guys.
up on Primetime with the
Thank you.
stablesnetwork.com. It's top of the hour, and we made it, everyone. So before I head out, I want to tell everyone to stay safe as always. And Johnny, all the best to you. We'll be following along.
Good luck, buddy.
Coach
Thank
Mickey,
you, John.
All right.
Savvy, it's been a pleasure.
Okay,
Thank you,
Mickey.
guys.
Okay,
Goodbye.
Alan. Thank you.
The hat, boys.
Thank you.
The hat.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.